Yes.
Grandpa, I gotta go. I'm serious.
Well, goat in the woods are all around. I'm trying to figure this wreck out here.
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. I am Christy. This is Ben. Perhaps you've heard of him. This is also Alonso. Perhaps you've heard of him. They're going to talk about Jayne Mansfield's car. I have not seen it. I don't know why I haven't seen it, but I have not. Should I?
It's on demand, so you could.
I could very
Yeah.
well, very easily.
Great actors, none of whom do anything wrong. But there's problems.
So Billy Bob Thornton is back in the director's chair after a long absence. It's a film he wrote and plays one of three sons of Robert Duvall as a crusty old Southerner in the late 60s whose wife left him years earlier to go to England and marry John Hurt. And now she is dead, and John Hurt and his two kids are bringing the body back to the South for her funeral, and the two families meet and collide in interesting ways against the backdrop of the Vietnam War and the Civil Rights era, and a visit from Jayne Mansfield's death car. Check it out.
Your mom was dead, son. Wants to be buried here with the people, so that English bastard and his kids are bringing her back.
Bloody fool!
Damn it, Neil!
Joe, hand me one of those beers back there.
It's just what you need. Y'all got another one?
This English accent of yours makes me hornier than Frank Sinatra.
Father?
I was going to ask you, is Jayne Mansfield's car actually in this, or is that like a metaphor?
No, it's not a metaphor. I mean, it's
in it.
It's an actual car.
It's in it.
If it is a metaphor, I never quite understood what it was a metaphor for.
One of the storylines is that which brother and Robert Duvall go to check out the car wrecks on the highway?
Oh, he takes actually his Duvall's grandson,
right.
Robert Patrick's son.
So with the oldest son's son, so Duvall's grandson, Duvall has, and I guess, and it happened earlier too, it's something he'd been doing all his life, is on the shortwave radio.
He was a medic in World War I, and now he likes to go see the
car wrecks
Oh, okay.
and that part, you know, and because it's Jayne Mansfield's car, there's the title, and we know what happened to Jayne Mansfield. That seems like it should be of some greater import, but it also didn't seem, I don't know, it just didn't register. It just felt simply weird, and I don't think Billy Bob Thornton intended it to be merely weird.
It plays more like a character trait than a character definition.
Right, and it seemed like that needed to, again, because of the title, that needed to mean more, and it seemed like, what does he do that for? And nobody else wants to go with him, and I don't know, I didn't buy that part, and I think given the title, that was a flaw.
Thornton throws a lot into the stew here. You've got his character is a somewhat shell-shocked World War II veteran who, now likes to drive cars around fast, but he's still living at home and is clearly kind of dealing with ongoing PTSD. Robert Patrick is the son who is bitter because he didn't see combat in World War II. He worked at the laundry at Fort Leavenworth or something. And then Kevin Bacon was a medic who's clearly always craved Duvall's approval and never gotten it, and now he's kind of a long-hair hippie, and his son, who's also a hippie, is deciding that maybe he wants to go enlist and fight in Vietnam after all. And then Duvall has a daughter who is unhappily married, and she hits on Ray Stevenson as John Hurt's son, whereas Thornton is hitting on Frances O'Connor, who plays John Hurt's daughter. It's very convoluted. There's a lot going on.
You need a flow chart, it sounds like.
Kind of, but you can follow it. It all makes sense. But the thing is that it's one of those movies where I think Thornton had a lot of index cards on the bulletin board, and he used all of them. And
no one told him not to.
Exactly. And then at the end of the movie, you have these speeches where literally characters sit down and explain everything, every conflict that every character has with each other, and tries to resolve them. And it just feels like, no, you can't tidy this up this quickly.
There is some movement in the movie, but when there isn't any movement in the movie, there isn't any movement in the movie. I mean, when he talks about those speeches, there are long stretches of talking, a lot of talking,
and some of it's good talking.
No, it's not. It's just it's like we needed it. I don't know, broken up more, slightly shorter, spread out, something. Because look, every one of these. I mean, Billy Bob Thornton cast this movie very effectively, and everybody's great. I mean, Ray Stevenson, who is you know, thankfully in this, not banished to a role where he just sort of walks around with, you know, ripped shirts, killing people, because he's a really good actor. And we know about Robert Patrick, and we know obviously about, you know, and Kevin Bacon and Francis O'Connor, these people, and John Hurt, and obviously Duvall. These are great people, but there's something that just feels it's so, when it's not lively, it so lies there.
It's one of those screenplays where you think, wow, like a couple more drafts. You know, he really might have gotten somewhere with this, but it just feels, you know, and even, I mean, like, you know, yeah, there's definitely some speechifying, and some of it are great. I mean, there are some great monologues in this movie
there are.
that work really well, and they're very effective in the moment. But there are other times where you can just literally feel like, okay, I got to wrap this up. I gotta resolve everything. I can't leave anything dangling. And so people have conversations that no one ever has, ever.
Did Billy Bob write this too?
Yes.
And it doesn't, and like you don't imagine if there's a setting for where you shouldn't have people have conversations they should never have. It's about a sort of 1960s Southern family. Like the whole point would be that they don't have these conversations, and I think that was the intent, that these aren't the kind of people. Because that said, when they hit it, the family dynamics, when they nail it, it's, you know, it's revelatory, and I liked that part of it. I liked seeing because there's some growth for these characters too.
This movie also does something that bugged me in touchy-feely, and I feel like it's a super lazy screenwriter thing, which is to have characters have big revelations and conversations because they're on drugs. Somebody laces Duvall's iced tea with LSD. Which leads to all this stuff happening, and it just so feels like it's a device, it's a crutch. So you know, if you don't do it right, it comes out very wrong.
Touchy-feely, I didn't understand the conversation they had either.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they drop acid and they take ecstasy, and I still don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So what are your numbers?
So look, there were parts of it, again, you know, I get more taken with really good performances. So as I was thinking more about it, we were talking, I gave it a 6. I think it's worth seeing. I think there are really good. Again, the performances are great. When it's good, when those, like, there are moments where you're like, God, that's really good. That's a well-written scene, and those are good people acting it. But then then much of it doesn't hold together, and it lays there for stretches.
I gave it a 4.5, just because, I mean, there are things about it that work, but it exhausts its goodwill by the end, and it really just, there were a few scenes at the end that just made me mad, that they were so badly written and so literally like, let's all talk about our feelings in a way that these characters have never done in the years and years that they've been resentful of each other for no good reason except that movie's ending, you know. So yeah, sorry.
Okay.
All right, so we come up to a 5.3 on Jayne Mansfield's Car, which is available on demand.
I can demand it. Bye.